Hey, today's post is going to be called Soul Wide Open. And it comes from this idea that our soul is space, I guess, for lack of better expression. And I don't know if it's an idea that's propagated in other places, but it's an idea that I'm putting forth right now, and I actually didn't know I was going to say until I just said it. So as I explore it from what it's saying inside of me, it's now coming forth for you and for whoever else listens to this. So what would it be, or what would it mean for the soul to be space? Well, I guess if I were to explore it a little bit deeply, it takes me to the idea of God in Acts 17 being called the place within which we move, dwell, and have our being. And I know that there's the name for God, Hamakom, which I've mentioned in the past, which means the place. And so let's say if we're in God's image and God is a place, even maybe God is an event as well as a being, perhaps we're also places, events, and beings within ourselves. And to explore it, I'm thinking, okay, let's say that I am a place, right? Let's say that my soul is the space within which the other dimensions of me dwell and move and have their being. So, for example, I have thoughts and ideas, and I say that this thing that my thoughts and ideas take place in is my mind. And then I say that I have a body, which is, whatever this is. And those things, we say, well, the mind is inside the body, and we say that the soul is inside the body. But then I've heard people say that perhaps the body is in the mind, and perhaps the mind is in the soul. And so just kind of coming from that frame of reference and looking at the soul as a place, I would say that in order to feel freedom, you would have to have your soul wide open, to have a wide open space, a wide open place within which you move and have your being, within which you think ideas and conceive of dreams and other things that may come into your experience. And to have that place wide open is freedom. Freedom for things to come in and go out. Freedom for things to move about. Because if you think about this idea, this contrary idea of the body being the boundaries of your soul and the boundaries of your mind, then that which your body can handle is that which you can handle. That which your body can handle is that which your soul can express. But if it's the other way around and the soul is a place and your soul is wide open, how much more could you express? How much more could you live? How much more could you be? And so I'm asking myself in this moment, as well as you, what would life be like if your soul was wide open? What if the events and the things that hold you down in your life that seem to trap you and confine you into this limited space, what if you had so much more space because your soul was wide open? Would you be bothered about vents in linear space, linear ideas of space that are crammed up against one another that make you feel all this pressure? Or would these things just be spread out, scattered all over the place in this soul, and there's experiences that you can look at and observe objectively, that you can use your mind as the tool that it actually is and see things in a different light when you look upon them or look at them in lots of different ways, because you have the space to do it, rather than there just be this confined idea of who you are, bound by a body, contained in a body. We are not containers, and we're not meant to be contained. And so if we approach this idea of our soul being wide open, perhaps we will discover more of who we are, more of the reality of who we are, and more of the reality of what we can do. Because in a soul wide open with infinite space, a place for the mind to explore, there is no limitation in what you can understand, what you can achieve, what you can imagine, and what you can be. And so I think that the idea of a soul wide open is a very good idea. And as I engage this thought right now in your presence, I feel my soul being even more wide open than it was when I came here to speak to you about this. And so I invite you to explore your soul differently. Consider the possibility that maybe your body is not the limitations and boundaries of your mind, nor the boundaries and limitations of your soul. And that despite your body, and not to negate the body in any way, it's a magnificent tool, a fabulous tool. But perhaps if your soul is wide open, and the soul really is a better description of who you are, the consciousness that pervades the soul is a better indicator of what you can be, then maybe if we look at it from that angle, we'll discover so much more about who you are, who we are. I'll discover who I am, and we can enjoy it together in freedom and space. I think that's a good idea, and it's worth exploring. If you have any questions about it, I'm probably not the person to ask because I'm thinking about it right now, but hey, you know what? Maybe I am. Maybe we can talk about this and we can both learn something. And if you get something out of this, please share it with other people, because there's a lot that we have to explore and a lot that we have to learn. And right now I think we're suffering because we don't think we have freedom, when in actuality we are freedom itself. So here's to living with your soul wide open.